Look, man, we don't negotiate with terrorists.
Yeah,
this is the way it is. Comply or good fucking buy.
Yeah, I mean, like,
look, the thing is, you're saying all this bullshit, but women are not attracted to men that listen to you. Like, we don't listen to women. Like, because
is that true?
Women don't want guys that listen to them. Period.
No.
Men lead, women follow. It's been that way since the beginning of time. Every modern day convenience that you enjoy was created by men. All the world history leaders have been men. No matriarchy stood the test of time because women can't lead shit. Men create the world. The last thing we need is females in leadership positions. Men need to lead everything: relationships, the world, businesses, etc. Because women are emotionally sound and don't make logically sound, rational decisions. Call me a sexist, call me an asshole, but reality is sexist. Men are better than women at virtually everything, and it needs to stay that way. That's just how the world works. Women are better at certain things.
Because men have more opportunities
to
showcase their talents. I believe that there is a woman. I believe maybe in 1 or 2 generations there will be a woman to compete with every man. How do men have more opportunities than women? Because I think when you look back, I know my parents' generation, my mom was urged not to go to college. She was told that she should be like a housewife, and that's what she ended up doing. Okay. And I think that in 2 generations, we are already an empowered generation, but I think the kids now are very much equal to men or boys. And so I think
women dominate college attendance now.
Self-efficacy.
Like women dominate college attendance now.
Well, we'll see.
Gotcha, bitch.
I would argue women have more.
Look it up.
Women have more rights, and I know this for a fact. I wrote a book on this.
Is this true?
Yes, women absolutely dominate college attendance. Like 60 to 70% of college students nowadays are females.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, but they also major in all the useless majors as well. But like, I mean, the point I'm trying to make is it's the truth.
Well, they're our generation. We're the generation that's in college.
Look, man, name a right or a privilege that a man has that a woman doesn't. Please tell me. Besides being able to have sex with a bunch of women.
I'm just saying it's going to be generational. It's just the idea that we're growing up with Barbie and Princess, and we feel like we fit in a box.
You made the statement that men have more opportunities. Tell me what more opportunities men have that women don't.
That's what I'm trying to explain. It's your own self-love and it's your ability of what you think you're capable of. Because I was never raised to think that I was capable of moving mountains like men were.
Really?
Yes.
Everywhere you look, they're saying strong, independent woman, career.
And that's
you go get your money. So I would argue that it's the other way around. We empower women way more than we empower men.
That's new.
I would say for the better part of the last 50 years, we've been doing that.
No.
Do you know when feminism started?
It has not been as accepted as it is today. And I think a lot of it is media
women are
too,
so
but
oppressed,
I won't even
tell me,
that.
Since women are so oppressed, stand on it. Name one privilege or right that a man has that a woman doesn't. Go ahead. Please.
I've been.
What? Name one.
That you guys watch TV as kids that taught you the values of beating people, winning, being the fastest, the strongest, and we have been Sleeping Beauty who's been waiting for our prince to come wake us up. That is what we were raised on. So I feel like, do you get what I'm saying?
No.
I'm saying that
I'm asking you to specifically name to me a privilege or a right that a man enjoys that a woman does not, besides being able to have sex with a lot of partners without judgment. Name one. Because I can name a bunch of privileges and rights that you guys have that we don't.
Talking business.
Gotcha, bitch.
Talking business.
You're just talking to talk, man.
Gotcha, bitch.
Like women have way more opportunities.
I'm really not. I'm trying to explain it. Like,
you're doing a terrible job.
Do you guys agree?
They don't even know what you're saying.
Wow, girls.
Do you think that it's easier for a man in society to be successful than a woman?
Nowadays women are more successful than men right now.
Yep.
Right now, women are more successful than men.
Let me ask you something. Do you know what selective service is? Hold on, let me ask her. You don't know what selective service is?
Wow.
Fantastic.
Wow.
So when you're a man in the United States, at 18 years old, you have to enter into something called the selective service, which means if there's a draft, you automatically be drafted in. And if you don't enter in, you don't get financial aid, you can't get a federal job, you can't get a state job. You might get fined $10,000 or put in jail for that. Women don't have to do that. That's a right and a privilege right there that women have that men don't. Yet, your guys' vote just counts just as much as ours.
But that's like women expected to be back home when those Marines are out. So
no, but feminism is here. Why don't we go ahead and change the law? 18 years old women need to join selective service too, but we haven't done that, have we? A woman can abort a baby without a man's consent, but it can't go all the way around.
Yeah, so I'm saying that women's rights have a long way to come. Like,
no,
until they accept us as people that can fight just the same as men. Like, look, that's what I'm saying, that we're not treated equal in society.
I've already named 2 rights and privileges that women enjoy that men don't. I asked you to name.
It's hard for me as a woman to be taken serious when I speak anything about business. Like it gets discredited immediately.
It's hard for you to be taken seriously because you can't articulate your points.
I can't. I
That's the real
can. I
reason.
think you're just getting a little defensive because I have a good point.
You didn't make any points.
I just did.
I had to make the points for you just now.
You just combated my point with an insult.
How did I make it?
What did I even say? What
you
was
didn't
my
know
point?
What selective service was. You didn't know that women have the ability to abort a child and men has no reproductive rights.
Yeah.
I asked you a specific question. Name one right or privilege that women have that men don't.
I just did.
Or sorry,
the
that men have that
ability
women
to be
don't.
taken serious. Speaking about business.
No, that's upon you to not be a moron when you speak with men about business.
No.
It's on you.
No.
If you go in there and you articulate yourself well and you're able to make concise points that make sense, etc., men are going to take you seriously. It's performance based. Just like a man, when he walks in, he's got to be able to perform.
But I thought
as
men
well.
don't listen to women.
Trying to be funny.
No,
Just hold the L, bro.
She's trying to gaslight, man.
Yeah, no. This is just an L all around.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Bro, you just been taking L's all night, man.
Lee.
It's so impossible to have an argument with you guys when all the other women, every time I say something, discredit me. But I know that you guys disagree.
Stop gaslighting.
You don't make sense. That's why they're looking at you crazy.
Yeah, like, come on.
We're having a conversation. It makes sense.
All right,
bro.
This girl's not crazy. Like, I don't know because I just been to American for 2 years, but in China, like, I don't know if it's for you the same, but I think you born in America, maybe. Yeah, but like when I was a child, like a little girl, like my mom asked me to do some housework, but what she said is that
ChatGPT.
Yeah, she said that doing housework is not like saying that, oh, you need to do housework because you're gonna take care of yourself in future. But what she said is, if you don't know how to do housework, you will find no husband. You know, like that's like a mindset. That's a mindset that.
What, no. What does that have to do with the conversation?
It's like what she said. It's like the privilege of guy.
ChatGPT. I asked her to name one right or privilege that men have that women don't, and she couldn't name one.
I did.
Just like the like you.
But
that's
it's seriously. But it's also like what she was saying about turning 25 if you don't have a husband.
Look, that's not. Hold on.
That's kind of detrimental.
You do realize that if you're a man or a woman and you go into a business meeting, you still have to. There's a burden of performance. You have to be able to articulate yourself well and know what you're doing. So you're saying, I'm a female, I'm not going to be taken seriously. Well, if a guy goes in there and he's a moron, he's not going to be taken seriously either.
He'll be taken more serious.
Really?
Yeah.
If he'll be given an opportunity. Gives you more of a burden that you have to surpass. You have to become more educated in the industry. You have to become more educated in what's specifically being talked about. But it's the same thing if a man was to go into a hairstyling meeting and he starts talking about weaves and he has no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
But what makes more money?
That's not the point.
It's like now the vocabulary to describe those women that are super successful.
You do realize that if a woman submits a resume and a man submits a resume and they have equal credentials, they're going to take the woman most of the time. You do understand that, right?
I disagree.
They've done studies on this. No, for real. And especially if it's a job that's male dominated, they're going to take a female even more.
What about for promotions?
I agree with that. I actually worked at a sawmill.
Like, bro, this doesn't even come close. Women are not oppressed at all. That's one of the biggest lies ever. Women are not oppressed. I say women have. Honestly, I would argue women have more rights and privileges than men do. In 2023, absolutely.
I think that perspective though of being oppressed comes from women, like in and of itself, like 100%. If you genuinely believe that you are not oppressed, that you can do whatever you want, you will.
Yes.
And other women encourage that on you, like, oh yeah, you have to be submissive. You have to. You know what I'm saying? I agree with what you're saying. Sorry.
Women dominate college attendance, yet they still make less money than men. Why is that? Because women major in retarded careers that don't make money. But that's a personal choice. Because women don't want to go into career fields that are more laborious, that are involve science, technology, engineering, and math. Women make less because they deserve less.
Why?
They work less hours. They take more vacation. They work stupid ass jobs. They get dumb ass majors. They go to university and waste a bunch of 4 years and not necessarily pursue a trade. Women don't want to work laborious jobs. That's all personal choice, though. No one's putting a gun in your head saying, hey, you need to go ahead and become a social worker. No, women just don't want to they just don't want to do laborious jobs. They want to be a social worker, a teacher, a nurse. They don't want to necessarily get into science, technology, engineering, and math. That's a personal choice.
And that's okay.
But like, you can't sit there and say, I'm oppressed when you make personal decisions that make you less money.
Just don't
I feel like that's the self-efficacy that I'm talking about. I know you think I'm crazy, but there's a reason that women go into those careers.
Why?
And they don't go into business.
Why?
Because they don't identify with the Jordan Belfort.
But they're still making a personal choice.
You can become that Jordan Belfort
But
if you
they
try
don't
hard
identify
enough.
because we are not raised to think that we are Jordan Belfort. That's
But then
what I'm trying
that's
to
up to
say.
you to take the way that you're raised and making that your
Exactly.
entire life. Like you can change that. I was raised that way. I was
think
raised
you
in a
can.
very traditional Hispanic household where it was like, you have to be a wife. Like every day hearing that that's not what your husband's going to like. What am I doing now? Sponsoring everything that I do, having all the things that I want. I'm single. I don't need a man to provide for me. And I did that on my own because I
Queen.
believed in it.
All right,
But
Queen.
I don't think that
You were saying? Go ahead.
I don't think a lot of people are woke like that.
That's their choice.
Whose fault is that?
I made a conscious
But I'm
choice
saying that
every
it's
day to
hard-
wake
it's
up
hard
and
to
go to
un-
my 3 jobs. Like I do it for myself.
I feel like women now they're woke. They're woke
Yeah.
because of social media.
I'm talking about like you go to like Bama State and you study 4 years business, and then after that you're going to another school, or even your sophomore year you're interning at Bloomberg. Like, where are those women? Where are those where you've known since you were a child that you just have been grinding all through high school, middle school, college, and you knew from the beginning that you wanted to do that? Like, I see that with
you know
men.
where they at? They're
right
not on
here.
social media.
Yeah, correct.
They're not on social media.
They have their
Social media is what's messing up the world.
I still don't get. You're still not making an argument for how women are oppressed. They're not oppressed.
I have made my argument.
Yeah,
I think she's basically just
With,
like
like, the
putting on the
raising.
table that
She's made 0 arguments.
Yeah.
I have made the argument.
societal pressures are
No,
like
but-
a big deal, but that's
The
still not like
expectation.
I don't think
That's not
that's
an argument
Correct.
though. Because by her logic, you know what?
But it
Okay,
is, but
let's
it
say
is 'cause
you know
it
what? How about
molds
no,
you
let's
so much
it's
as a human
molded by your
being.
environment.
if you
Yes,
allow it
yes.
to though.
Okay, you know what? Let's
By
take your
both.
logic and see how loony it sounds. Let's say in 1985, I'm selling crack cocaine. Okay, and next thing I know, the fucking feds bust in the house. FBI, open up! Take my dumb ass to jail, and I sit there and I tell them, "Oh, you gotta understand, man. I'm a product of my environment. I had to sell this crack because my granddaddy taught me, my mom taught me it's the only way I can make money. You know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna go fucking do 20 years in prison because they don't give a fuck. Because I made a personal choice to not rise
Okay.
above my circumstances.
Yeah, okay.
So why is it that people go to prison for being a product of their environment, but you're over here complaining that you're not being successful because of a product of your environment?
I can see your point. I just think that's a factor in it. It's definitely a factor.
It's an excuse.
Yeah.
It's a mindset thing.
It's an
Mindset.
excuse.
No.
You can't make an argument
No.
for the product of my environment bullshit.
It's just the same way that women like gravitate towards parents that are, or like partners that are familiar to their parent. You know, like you.
Look, man,
what
I'm just gonna say it. The reason
what
why
your
women make
idea-
less, I'm gonna give it to you raw. The reason why women make less is because women are fucking lazy when it comes to resource creation. Women work less hours. They work less laborious jobs. They don't go into career fields that make more money. They don't want to do trades. They want to do nice air-conditioned work, sitting in an office typing on fucking computers. That's the reason why women make less. It's because they are not risk takers like men are. Why? Because if a girl's pretty enough, a man can come and rescue her. On the other hand, as a man, if you don't go get it yourself, no one's coming to rescue you. So men are far more incentivized to go out there and work more hours and work harder because they know that their ability to mate is contingent upon creating excess resources. A woman's ability to mate is not contingent upon creating excess resources, which is why women go into stupid ass career fields and don't make as much money as men in general. That's the cold hard reality. Women are lazy when it comes to resource creation, but they're not necessarily lazy when it comes to family creation. That's why women are better off staying at home and men are better off working. Period. That's why women make less. That no one is going to admit. They're just fucking lazy in general compared to men.
I agree with you, but I don't agree that it's laziness. I think that every people have their own responsibility and relationship. So I wouldn't say that like they don't do this.
I was
they
very
don't do this
specific. I said
because
lazy
they're
with
lazy.
resource creation. That means making money.
Yeah, but it's not like lazy because we have different different psychology, different body structure, you know. So
I don't care about the why. You're
women
still
are
lazy.
more-
It's not. It's
Who cares
lazy,
about the
but
why?
it's being comfortable.
Yeah, the why
You're
is
comfortable.
irrelevant. I'm saying in general, women are lazier than men when it comes to resource creation. You can make excuses. We can't work as hard,
It's
or
not
we can't
about
work as many hours.
being
That's cool, but
lazy.
they're lazier.
It's not about being lazy. It's about being different. You know.
You know,
Therefore-
We are
therefore-
more emotional.
you don't like the
We're
word.
we have more feelings.
like the word.
Women, men are more straightforward, more, I don't know, more strong. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, we're less lazy too.
Facts.
She don't like the word.
Well, guys, it's almost midnight. I'm dark skinned and I'm going to get hit by a car
worries.
tonight.
Okay.
But
I mean, hold on, real quick. Your country right now is in the middle of a war. Where are the men fighting? Where are you? Here. If that doesn't prove that men work harder than women, I don't know what
Yeah,
does.
of course I respect, and of course I have. Yeah, I agree.
But that's what I'm trying to say.
Stronger, and I respect this.
But men are more likely to work harder than women in almost every regard. Your own country is a byproduct of that. The women are partying in Kiev and shit. Meanwhile, the men are dying, fighting the Russians.
Yep.
Are they still fighting?
Yes.
Yeah, they're still fighting.
Shit.
Come on, man.
Gotcha,
Men-
bitch.
yes, I agree that men are
You
stronger.
over here on a podcast
Yeah,
while they're over here
yeah.
shooting M4s in fucking Kiev, man. Come on.
All right.